If your dog greets you at the door, do you know what they're really doing? Most people think it's simple. My dog missed me, end of story. But that greeting is one of the most emotionally loaded things your dog does all day. And if you get it wrong, which almost every owner does without realizing, you're not just missing a cute moment, you're missing a conversation your dog only has with you and no one else. Let's decode it. Have you ever noticed your dog acts differently depending on the kind of day you've had? That's not a coincidence. The second you walk through that door, your dog is reading you. A study published in the journal Animal Cognition found that dogs can distinguish between human emotional expressions and actually change their behavior based on what they pick up. So when you come home stressed, frustrated, or anxious, your dog already knows before you even put your bag down. And here's what makes this fascinating. They don't just notice it, they respond to it. If you walk in tense, some dogs will keep their distance, not because they don't care, but because they're being careful. Other dogs will do the opposite. They'll come closer, press their body against yours, almost like they're saying, "I've got you." Think about that for a second. Your dog is doing something that most people in your life don't even do. They're paying attention to how you actually feel, not how you say you feel. But this is just the surface, because later in this video, I'm going to tell you why your dog chose the door specifically as the place to do all of this. And when you hear the reason, it's going to change the way you see this entire moment. Ever wonder why your dog buries his nose into you the second you walk in? Most people think it's just their way of saying hello, but what's actually happening is way more intentional than that. Your dog has up to 300 million olfactory receptors in his nose, compared to just 6 million in humans. The part of his brain dedicated to smell is proportionally 40 times larger than ours. You've been out in the world all day, picking up smells from places, people, food, maybe even another animal. And to your dog, you come home smelling like a stranger. That frantic sniffing, that leaning into you, that gentle pawing at your legs, that's your dog reading every chapter of your day and then rewriting the ending. He deposits his own scent onto you, making you smell like home again, like you belong to his world. And here's the part most people miss. If you come home smelling like another dog, that greeting gets longer, more intense, more urgent. He's not being clingy, he's working overtime to erase what doesn't belong and put his stamp back on you. What if that adorable greeting at the door isn't actually a greeting at all? I know that's hard to hear, but stay with me on this one. Sometimes, when your dog meets you at the door, he's not saying, "I missed you." He's saying, "Finally, you're back. Now fix something." And once you learn to spot the difference, you'll never look at that moment the same way again. If your dog greets you and then immediately walks toward the kitchen and looks back at you, that's not affection. That's an escort. He's literally walking you to the food bowl. Others will lead you straight to the door because they've been waiting all day to go outside. Researchers have found that dogs have developed specific vocalizations, a mix of whines and body language, almost engineered to make you respond faster. They learned how to push your buttons, and they use it right when you walk in the door. So how do you tell the difference? Watch what happens after. A dog that greets you and stays close, that's the connection. A dog that greets you and leads you somewhere, that's a request. Both are valid, both are communication, but only one is the one you think it is. Did you know your dog can hear your car pulling into the driveway before you even turn off the engine? That might sound dramatic, but it's actually backed by science. Dogs can hear frequencies up to 65,000 hertz. So the sound of your specific car, your footsteps on the pavement, even the way you grab your keys out of your pocket, your dog has memorized all of it. They're not waiting at the door by accident. They heard you coming minutes ago. But it goes deeper than just sound. Dogs are incredibly sensitive to patterns. They learn what time you wake up, what time you leave, and almost down to the minute what time you come home. Researchers found that dogs show increased restlessness and anticipatory behavior right before their owner's usual arrival time. They're not just noticing you came home, they've been. And here's the part that gets me. When you're late, that greeting at the door is different. It's louder, more intense, sometimes even frantic. Because for the last 20 or 30 minutes, your dog has been sitting with a low-level anxiety, wondering if the pattern broke, wondering if something went wrong. So when your dog is already sitting at the door, before you even touch the handle, don't take that lightly. That means your dog has been thinking about you long before you walked in. What's the first thing you do when you walk through the door? Be honest. Most people kick off their shoes, check their phone, drop their bag and their dog. He's right there looking up at you, and you just walked right past him. Here's why that matters. More than you think. Dogs are not like humans. When they show up at that door, they're offering you a moment of connection on their terms. And if you blow past it, they register that. Not with anger, not with drama. They just quietly stop expecting anything from that moment. And this is what breaks my heart over time. Some dogs stop greeting at the door altogether. But because they learned that the moment doesn't lead anywhere, you come in, you're distracted, and they get nothing from it. So they move on before you do. But here's the good news. It takes almost nothing to get this right. That's it. Crouch down, slow your energy, let them sniff your hand. Let them do their thing. You don't need to make a big deal out of it. Just be present for the length of one slow breath, and that's enough. Remember earlier when I said there's a deeper reason your dog chose the door and not the couch, the bed, or anywhere else in the house? This is what I was talking about. The door is the most vulnerable spot in your dog's entire world. It's where the outside breaks in. Every noise, every unfamiliar smell, every potential threat enters through that one point. And your dog has been monitoring it all day. So when he sits at that exact spot waiting for you, he's not just being cute. He's positioning himself at the one place in his world where safety and danger meet. And he's choosing to be there because you are what makes that spot safe again. Scientists who study animal behavior discovered something powerful. Many dogs treat their owner as what's called, it's the same concept used to describe how a toddler feels when their parent walks back into the room. Stress goes down, cortisol drops, the nervous system finally relaxes. Your dog is doing the same thing. The second you walk through that door, his body chemistry literally shifts, because you're home. So the next time you open that door and your dog is sitting there looking up at you, know this. That's not a habit. That's not just hunger. That's your dog telling you, in the only way he knows how, that you are his calm in a world he doesn't fully trust. And he's been waiting all day.